Map True Stories. This story isn't about yelling or ultimatums or obvious abuse. It's about something quieter, something that only becomes clear once it's already happened. I didn't notice it at first. That's the part that still bothers me. When we met, she was warm, attentive, deeply interested in my life. She asked questions about my friends, my family, my routines. At the time, it felt like care, like curiosity, like love. We moved quickly, not recklessly, just comfortably. She liked spending time together, a lot of time with my mom, and I liked it too. At first, nothing was forbidden. She never said, "You can't see them." She never demanded I choose between people. Instead, she framed everything as concern. She'd say things like, "I just don't think they really appreciate you." Or, "Every time you hang out with them, you seem drained afterward." Or, "I just hate seeing you treated that way." And when someone frames control as protection, it's hard to argue. So I started canceling plans. Not because she asked, but because it felt easier. She'd sigh when I mentioned going out, not angrily, just disappointed. She'd say she missed me already, that she was looking forward to spending the evening together, and slowly, I stopped checking in with friends. Not all at once. One dinner here, one weekend there. I told myself it was normal. People grow apart. Relationships shift priorities. But then came the stories. She'd bring up things my friends had said, or done, years ago, things I barely remembered. She'd reinterpret them, cast them in a darker light. "Do you really think that was okay? Why didn't they support you more? Are you sure they have your best interests at heart?" I started questioning memories I'd never doubted before. Then came my family. She never insulted them directly. That would have been too obvious. Instead, she'd point out tension, tone, little things. She sounded dismissive. That comment felt passive-aggressive. "They don't seem to respect your boundaries." And when I defended them, she'd soften, say she was just worried, that she didn't want me hurt. I began limiting calls, spacing out visits. I didn't realize what was happening, because every step felt reasonable, until one day, I looked at my phone and realized something strange. I had no unread messages, no missed calls, no plans. Not because people didn't care, but because I had stopped reaching out, and they had stopped trying when I brought it up to her. She smiled, said something like, "See, you're happier now. You don't need all that drama." That sentence stayed with me because I wasn't happier. I was quieter. I felt smaller, less certain, less grounded. My world had shrunk, and she was at the center of it. The realization didn't hit all at once. It came during a disagreement, a small one. I mentioned wanting to reconnect with an old friend. Her reaction changed. For the first time, there was no softness, no concern. She asked why I needed anyone else, why she wasn't enough, why I was going backward. That's when I felt it. Fear. Not of her yelling, but of her withdrawing. I realized then my support system was gone, and she knew it. That was the moment everything clicked. Isolation doesn't always look like control. Sometimes it looks like devotion. It doesn't arrive with threats. It arrives with reassurance. And by the time you recognize it, you're alone. Leaving wasn't dramatic. There was no final explosion, just the quiet work of rebuilding connections, of admitting I had disappeared from people's lives. Some relationships recovered, some didn't. But the hardest part was forgiving myself. For confusing love with dependency, this story isn't about blaming, it's about awareness. Because if someone truly loves you, they don't need to be your entire world. They make room for the rest of it. Map True Stories.